Chased away, reputation tarnished. Cornered by the law, Vitaly even faced the prospect of deportation on foreign soil. It's an unbelievable ending for a star once hailed by Justin Bieber himself as his favorite YouTuber. Who could have imagined that from the pinnacle of fame, Vitaly would plummet to such depths?
To quote the report.
Who filed the blotter?
Some victims in Taguig. So I'm sure you've seen.
Themselves.
Yes, I'm sure you've seen the videos. He was caught harassing a Filipina. He tried grabbing the cap of a security guard, as you can see there. And then there were other acts that he committed in Boracay.
Before everything crumbled, Vitaly was the king of the online world. His bold prank videos and dramatic live streams in the heart of bustling cities turned him into a phenomenon, captivating millions of viewers. His audacity not only drove crowds wild, but also earned the admiration of top-tier celebrities. He was an icon of daring, a pioneer in the game of attention. But behind the dazzling spotlight, a simmering question always loomed. Where is the line between explosive entertainment and violating ethics, or even the law? The reckless pranks that once propelled him to the top have now become a sharp blade, slicing apart the image he worked so hard to build. From a quiet immigrant in America, Vitaly once hustled through various odd jobs just to get by. No prestigious degrees, no powerful connections to back him up. He had only one weapon, a camera and a heart full of audacity.
Well, I'm giving you kisses right here, bro. No, I don't want to kiss it. Hey, man, no, it's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke, dude. It's a joke. It's a joke.
What's wrong with you?
No, yeah, it's Hershey Kisses, dude. Come on, it's chocolate.
It's chocolate.
It's a joke.
When he stepped onto the bustling streets, camera in hand, Vitaly turned reckless pranks into an irresistible charm. Viewers were stunned, curious, and then swept up in the crazy frenzy he created. His views exploded like a tsunami, transforming an unknown into an icon of the digital era, where attention is the ultimate crown.
May I give you a kiss?
Excuse me, there's a private wedding.
May I give you your kisses?
No.
The glow of social media can sweep you up like a storm, pulling you into a whirlwind of adoration. But when the stage lights fade, what remains? Is the crowd's admiration enough to redeem a life that has gone too far, crossing boundaries that should not be touched? Vitaly's story is a haunting cautionary tale. Glory may come quickly, but the price to pay can last a lifetime. But like all tales of fleeting glory, the applause is often followed by a terrifying silence. For Vitaly, that silence didn't come from the audience's forgetfulness, but from the troubles he brought upon himself. As the public's eyes grew accustomed to his audacity, he was forced to do more, to shock more, to cling to the spotlight. That very craving led him to a grave mistake. On August 12, 2024, at Bonifacio Global City, a bustling commercial hub in the Philippines, Vitaly appeared, but not as a tourist. He turned on his camera, starting a live stream right in the middle of the crowded mall. But instead of bringing laughter, what unfolded turned the entire area into a stage of chaos. According to local media reports, Vitaly was said to have blocked passers-by, hurled provocative remarks, and was even accused of snatching an item from someone's hand. These actions were seen as a prank in front of thousands of online viewers, but they left those present confused and uncomfortable. On phone screens, viewers laughed at his boldness. In real life, those involved felt only fear and offense. The atmosphere grew increasingly tense. The crowd began to stir, bewildered. Finally, local police were forced to intervene, putting an end to the live stream on the spot. As a result, the police stepped in and arrested him on charges reported by the media, including harassment, causing public alarm, theft, and disturbing the peace. From the image of a daring internet star, he now faces the prospect of a legal record in a foreign country.
But doon po sa video niya, hindi lang siya yung nandun, kinakasama ko siya yung camera lang sa Philippines. Yeah, what was the expense of others?
However, what drew the most attention was not just Vitaly's reckless actions, but his attitude when he was arrested. In front of the camera, he still tried to smirk and throw out defiant remarks as if this were just another act in his YouTube career. But according to witnesses, as soon as he was handcuffed, that demeanor quickly changed, from arrogance to confusion tinged with panic. At times, Vitaly loudly protested, insisting he was just creating entertainment content, but the police paid little heed. In that moment, the so-called audacity for amusement was laid bare, revealing a vulnerable Vitaly far removed from the fearless image his audience had seen on their screens. News of the arrest spread like wildfire across a dry field. Philippine media outlets ran bold headlines, while international news began painting Vitaly in a dark light, far removed from his days as a shining star. On social media, clips from his live stream went viral at breakneck speed, once celebrated as daring entertainment, now branded as evidence of lawless disregard. Each share was a hammer blow to his already crumbling reputation.
This guy, Vitaly, this is not the first time he's done this, so don't feel sorry for him. I know that 24 years he's facing is a lot, right? Don't get me wrong, I don't think he should go to jail for 24 years, but he definitely, in my opinion, does need to serve some jail time. He needs to learn because this is not the first time.
The online community split into two camps, like water and fire. On one side were the once fervent fans, now stunned and in disbelief, unable to fathom how their idol could spiral into such a scandal so quickly. On the other, sharp criticism rang out relentlessly. Those who believed this was the inevitable price to pay, the unavoidable end for someone who turned danger and chaos into a cheap tool for views. International media began labeling him with harsh terms like troublemaker and lawbreaker, a stark contrast to the famous YouTuber title of his past. But what sent chills down spines was the context. Vitaly was no longer on American soil, where he knew the system and could maneuver. He was now facing the legal framework of a foreign country, where leniency for foreigners is practically non-existent. Will he weather this storm, or is this the final curtain for a once dazzling star? Each new development only heightens the question, where will this story lead? And then what followed turned fear into reality. In April 2025, Vitaly was officially detained by the Bureau of Immigration (BI) in the Philippines. From a once defiant YouTube personality, he now found himself cramped in a crowded cell awaiting judgment. On June 11, 2025, Vitaly was transferred to a BJMP prison, a facility holding inmates awaiting trial. This event shocked the public. From a guy known for filming pranks on the streets, he was now confined within 4 iron walls, facing serious charges. After posting bail, Vitaly was returned to BI custody, but this series of transfers made one thing clear: this was no mere occupational mishap. It was a genuine legal process, not a joke. Sources like the Economic Times and Wikipedia reported in unison, the total potential sentence Vitaly faces ranges from 18 to 24 years in prison, a grim prospect shattering any illusion of paying a fine and walking away.
Ali being quote-unquote deported, but when I look at those videos, what they were really talking about was not that Vitaly was going to be deported now, but that at the end of his criminal sentence, at some point in the future, once he serves his time or gets whatever sentence the judge gives him, which may not come for another year or 2 years or however long. So once that sentence is given to him, then after he serves the time in prison or however else and gets out, yes, then he will have to go somewhere.
Meanwhile, on YouTube, the channel Legal Mindset offered a blunt analysis. The Philippine justice system is notoriously slow, and it could take 2-3 years before the first trial even begins. This means Vitaly could spend years behind bars if convicted.
Perhaps to a third country. And that is eventually gonna happen, but that might be 1 or 2 or 3 years down the road. Now, about long-term deportation, the other consideration, which some people have brought up, is his green card. If he does stay outside of the United States for long enough, he stays in the Philippines for long enough, yes, that green card might have some issues. It's potential that he could have some issues coming back to the United States.
But the tragedy doesn't end there. Despite holding Russian citizenship and a U.S. green card, both governments have remained indifferent. Russia has shown no effort to protect its citizen, and the U.S. has declined to intervene since Vitaly is not a full citizen. As a result, the YouTuber who once thrived on global attention now finds himself alone in a foreign legal system, with no one stepping up to defend him. The media no longer shows leniency. Headlines that once celebrated Vitaly as a daring star have now turned to harsher terms: troublemaker, lawbreaker. What captivates the public most is that he is no longer on American soil, where he was familiar and could navigate easily. Now Vitaly faces a completely foreign legal system, where leniency for foreigners is a rare sight. From a name synonymous with shocking pranks, he has become the focal point of a debate. Can fame protect you when everything falls apart? And with each new development, curiosity only grows. Where will this story lead? Facing the wrath of an entire community alone, the uncompromising stance of the Philippine government, and sharp criticism from prominent figures, does Vitaly have any way out? The question hangs in the air, fueling relentless curiosity. On social media, a storm of outrage erupted fiercely. From X to Facebook, Vitaly's reckless antics were branded a stain on the pride of the Filipino people. Every post, every comment was a spark, incinerating the image of a once-celebrated star. Philippine authorities showed no leniency. According to mainstream news reports, Interior Secretary Jonvic Remola declared, "The era of foreigners coming here to disrespect Filipinos is over." This statement reflects the government's resolute position, signaling that the chances of clemency are slim to none. Those words were like a sharp sword, cutting through any hope of leniency, regardless of how renowned a YouTuber Vitaly once was. An internet star is now merely a lost soul standing before the gavel. The media poured fuel on the already raging fire. Before and after images of Vitaly in detention spread everywhere, from the radiant face familiar in his bold videos to a gaunt, haggard figure. That photo was not just a moment, it was a symbol of his precipitous fall from the heights of fame to a dark abyss, captivating viewers who couldn't look away. Even voices from afar joined the fray. Chris Hansen, the legend behind To Catch a Predator, didn't hesitate to liken Vitaly's style to Borat meets Grand Theft Auto. A biting jab and a chilling warning. When content relies on shock and drama to survive, the line with the law becomes thinner than ever. Can Vitaly claw his way out of this whirlwind, or is this the end of a once dazzling story? Each detail only deepens the desire to know more. What lies ahead for him? The drama exploded. Vitaly is completely isolated. On one side, the public's fury, with thousands of comments on X and Facebook calling for his deportation. On the other, the resolute stance of the Philippine authorities, with firm declarations from the Interior Secretary that the time of foreigners coming to disrespect Filipinos is over.
He has crossed the line too many times. It's time for the law to do its job, and deportation is the most fitting outcome.
The Philippines doesn't need a scandalous YouTuber turning everything into a joke. Let him face his sentence and leave as soon as possible.
It's truly ironic. The more trouble he causes, the more famous he becomes.
The drama exploded. Vitaly is completely isolated. On one side, the public's outrage, with thousands of comments on X and Facebook unanimously calling for his deportation. On the other, the resolute stance of the Philippine authorities, with stern declarations from the Interior Secretary that the time of foreigners coming to disrespect Filipinos is over. Adding to this, the governments he once relied on have turned a blind eye, leaving him alone in the maelstrom. Even unrelated public figures like Chris Hansen have spoken out, criticizing Vitaly's style as Borat meets Grand Theft Auto, content that's more likely to cross into violations than entertain. Worse still, before and after images of his detention spread across the internet, showing his stark decline, turning Vitaly into a living testament to the cost of recklessness. From a YouTuber who once basked in glory, many now see him as a symbol of downfall. Where laughter from shocking pranks cannot salvage a decaying image, the message has become clear. True greatness is not measured by views but by respect for the community and the law, something Vitaly has entirely lost. At a moment when all hope seemed lost, a sudden legal plot twist emerged, sending the online community into a frenzy. According to IB Times, 7/2025, several key witnesses unexpectedly withdrew, refusing to testify, completely upending the legal proceedings. From a mountain of stacked charges, Vitaly now faces only a single accusation. For someone teetering on the edge of survival, this is nothing short of a faint ray of light piercing through the darkness, cracking open a fragile door, a lighter sentence, or perhaps even a chance to escape the dramatic legal quagmire. But don't be too quick to assume this light will lead to a happy ending. According to the Times of India, 7/2025, even with most charges dropped, Vitaly remains firmly detained in a Philippine Bureau of Immigration facility, branded with the harsh label undesirable alien, an unwelcome foreigner. That phrase is not just a cold string of words, it's a steel wall, blocking any dreams of returning to his former glory. Escaping criminal prosecution, perhaps, but resuming a normal life there, almost impossible. Legal experts, from Legal Mindset to other authoritative voices, are nearly unanimous in their verdict. Deportation is an inevitable outcome, regardless of how this legal journey ends. While today's sliver of hope may ease some pressure, the path ahead for Vitaly remains a labyrinth full of thorns. Will this be the final curtain for a noisy saga that once captured the world's attention? Or is another surprise lurking, ready to upend everything? Just as the audience sat waiting for the curtain to fall, news of some charges being reduced sparked a firestorm of debate across forums. Some cheered, calling it a light at the end of the tunnel for Vitaly. Others merely scoffed, seeing it as a fragile, fleeting illusion. Because just as a glimmer of hope emerged for him to escape the suffocating legal quagmire, another storm hit, bearing the name deportation. This story, like a breathless drama, pushes viewers to the edge of their emotions. The protagonist seems to graze victory, only to face an even more bitter defeat. He may have won a small battle, but a fiercer war looms ahead, where the chance of staying in the Philippines seems to have vanished into thin air. Behind the drama lies a cold message. The brighter the spotlight at the peak of fame, the more painful the fall and the steeper the price. Escaping one trouble? That's never true liberation. Sometimes it's merely a cracked open door leading to a new labyrinth, where harsher challenges await. Can Vitaly turn the tables on this game, or has fate already scripted an unforgiving end? Despite being shunned by the community, facing a harsh prison sentence and the prospect of deportation, why does the name Vitaly still hold millions of eyes captive? What makes his story a maelstrom, a breathless drama that the whole world watches with bated breath? No matter how the legal battle unfolds, the public clings to Vitaly's every step as if awaiting a public trial in the arena of the internet. They eagerly want to know, will he escape the legal quagmire? Will he be deported from the Philippines? And what will remain of his once dazzling career after this relentless storm? Each development is a heavy blow to his image, yet it also acts as a shot of adrenaline fueling curiosity. That is the bitter paradox of fame. From a celebrated star, Vitaly has become a figure fiercely rejected by the public, yet he retains the power to keep the world buzzing. He is a living embodiment of the internet's dark side, where hatred doesn't just destroy but also transforms you into an enduring focal point in the most distorted way. The criticisms, the scathing posts, all only pour more fuel onto the fire of attention. Andrew from Legal Mindset didn't hesitate to assert, deportation is an inevitable outcome, merely a matter of time once the prison doors close. For Vitaly, one chapter may be nearing its end, but the next is poised to unfold under the scrutinizing gaze of millions. The internet can crush a reputation in an instant, but it can also make you immortal in a twisted, painful way. Vitaly knows this well. In the digital age, sometimes the more you're hated, the less you can ever fade away. Who is Vitaly in this storm of drama? A talented YouTuber who once captured millions of hearts, now lost amidst the stage lights? Public opinion is divided. Some liken Vitaly to a relentless troublemaker, finally facing the steep price of his recklessness. Or is he simply a vivid symbol, proof of the fragile line between captivating entertainment and the cold consequences of the law? In the era of social media, glory and ruin are separated by a single misstep. Fame can propel you to dazzling heights, but one slip can turn it into a sharp blade, dragging you down to the depths of criticism. And what lingers, strangely enough, isn't always the pure truth. Instead, it's the story woven by the crowd, a tapestry of curiosity, judgment, and an obsessive allure that keeps people hooked. Will Vitaly find a way out to rewrite his story, or will he remain forever trapped in a drama the public never tires of watching? Each detail only fuels the desire to know more. How will he face his fate?